What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Engineers Without Filter podcast. This is episode 3. Quick shout out, thanks again for listening. Again, we're just surprised on how well this is doing, so thank you for your continued support. Just a reminder to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at EWF Podcast. And of course, we post 9 a.m. on Mondays on SoundCloud every week. We're really close to getting on iTunes and Spotify, so I'll let you guys know when that happens for sure. All right, let's get into the first topic. So today we're going to go deep, boys. We're going really deep.
In the feels.
In the feels. We're talking about emotions. We're talking about what is happiness?
Never done that before.
What is happiness and what is success? Does it exist? So I'm going to kick it to Joseph first.
I have to start this off?
What is the meaning
First
of life?
question, are you happy?
Am I happy? Well, that's an
Can it console
I'm
him after the podcast?
I mean, like, college is fun. I'm having a good time. Like, I would say in the moment, I'm like, yeah, I'm happy. Like, this podcast has been fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, day to day, I'm pretty happy. I don't know, I'm getting to a point where it's like, okay, now I got to decide things.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a little bit of anxiety from that, and I don't know.
I mean, how would you, define happiness?
How would
For,
I don't know.
a person?
That's such a tough question.
I know.
It is.
That's all we're talking about.
That's why you sent it to Joseph first.
Yeah. Catch him off guard.
I'd say for me, happiness is doing what I love. So like I love to snowboard. So other than when I busted my knee, I'm always happy snowboarding.
Yeah.
So like when I'm doing the things that I love is that's when I'm happiest. So I think like to me being able to do those things like hiking, hang out with you guys, like snowboarding, that's when I'm happiest, and I think that's what makes me happy, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
at least for me, the best way.
Yeah. I totally get that.
What about you, Gabe?
Well, I'm a bit of a nihilist, I feel like. Like, I kind of agree with a little bit. Joseph just gave me the little bit symbol. I don't know. To me, it's kind of like in the same vein of like moment to moment. Like I feel like the little things add up.
Mm.
You know, like today was fucking awful for me. And then I got home and you guys were like, let's go mountain biking. And that made me, mine's the part where I almost puked. Blizzards, man. I had a lot, like that made me really happy. Like that, it's that like the little things that I really enjoy. Like Joseph said, it's just like that adds up. And like once we're dead, can't be happy when you're dead, I guess. So I don't know. I try and like be as happy for as long as possible, I guess.
Yeah. So you really take the whole YOLO thing to...
Yeah, but I didn't say YOLO.
Let the record show, Dayton brought up the phrase YOLO. Just so we have that clear.
As a joke.
I mean, obviously I don't take it to an extreme where I'm like, oh, I gotta fucking smoke meth. Like, yeah, you know, but like, small things, you know, like going mountain biking for half an hour and 45 minutes. Like, that brings me happiness.
Yeah.
So.
What makes you happy, Dayton?
I mean, a lot of things make me happy. But I think in order for me to be long-term, have happiness in my life, one, I need to be challenged.
Mm-hmm.
And then that kind of goes hand in hand with the second one where I kind of feel the need to grow, like, all the time. Like, I have to experience new things, or I have to find, new aspects of my hobbies to kind of grow on. And that gives me happiness because, I mean, it shows that I can do more.
Yeah.
I really don't like being complacent. I feel like we talked about being complacent.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that because for my internship over the summer, I felt very like I didn't do anything. Like outside of work, it wasn't much for me to do, I guess. And like I'd try and go mountain biking and stuff, but it just like wasn't the same. Yeah. And, like I just felt like nothing was growing. You know what I mean? Like my mental state wasn't like I wasn't like learning anything new. It just felt like I was just stagnant. Yeah. And that made me really sad. Like I was pretty upset for a majority of the summer, like just kind of borderline depressed just because I wasn't accomplishing anything.
Yeah.
Like, I have to feel like I needed it in some aspect of my life, whether it's like a hobby or whether that's like work or school. I feel like I'm progressing in some way, you know?
Yeah. For me, it's like I said, obviously there are activities that make me happy. I love hanging out with you guys, like no matter what we're doing, whether it's just sitting around drinking beer or going mountain biking or anything. I just like love like living in this house. As you guys know, I love watching shows. I watch a ton of Netflix and Hulu, which I find a lot of enjoyment in because I like kind of analyzing them and just kind of figuring out kind of what was the intent of the director, just kind of the whole purpose of the show. Like that stuff a lot. But what I wanted to get to is, I don't think you can do the things that make you happy all the time and still be happy. Like if we mountain biked all day every day, I don't think we'd be happy.
Yeah.
You know, I think you have to kind of take the good and the bad, you know, in order to be kind of a happy person, you know, quote unquote. Because like, I mean, there's like a phrase that's like, you can't have light without shadow, right? You can't have light without darkness. So I just don't think that you can do the things that make you happy all the time and be a happy person overall.
You know, there is a song that I listen to that it's something along that where it's like, the idea is like you can't, like there's reasons there's boring days.
Yeah.
Because it makes the exciting days extra exciting.
Yeah.
If you're doing stuff to like 11, like to max all the time, it just becomes numbing.
Yeah.
It just gotta.
Because like, I mean, it's impossible to not have bad days. I mean, they're
Oh, yeah.
gonna happen. Like, shit happens in your life. You know, some things don't go your way, or you just have a really busy or stressful day. You know, that's obviously going to happen. You can't avoid that. But if you can balance that with kind of some self-care and doing the things that you do enjoy and kind of relaxing, I think that overall you can be a happy person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Don't know.
I'm not sure if I completely agree with the whole you need light to have a shadow analogy, because I don't think that you need to feel shitty.
No, not necessarily. I'm just saying, like,
I think
you just can't be on that high 24/7.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, I agree with that. I guess I was thinking that you were taking it to the opposite extreme where it's like you need to be depressed to feel happiness
Yeah.
sort of deal, which I don't agree with that at all. I agree that yes, you won't feel, you know, completely happy. Like you won't feel like ecstatic every single day.
Yeah.
And that's part of life. But I think that you should definitely have more days where you're like, holy shit, dude, life is amazing.
Yeah.
More so than just like, yeah, you know, I just got some chores to do.
Yeah. And I feel like that happens more on the weekends more than the week for me.
For
Like the holy shit, I love life.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's just so busy.
yeah.
But I do think it's, going off of that, I mean, I do think it's kind of dangerous, though, to not have some trouble in your, like, dark times in your life. Just because, I mean, you guys heard me talk about it. There's a couple people I've known over the years that whenever I see them, they're always in a good mood. And I've never seen them
Oh, I've been to Disney before.
sad. No. There's like, yeah, people at school, right? Like, every time I see them, they're in a good mood, they're attentive, they're happy, they're engaged. They're always just on the ball. They never have a bad day. And I'm just like, how is that possible?
that
I
shit's
don't understand.
Okay,
you know?
I'm gonna offer you a little bit of insight on that, or what I think is insight. So, picture yourself in your happiest state. Okay, that might be, you know, for you, Jacob, you know, like watching like a movie that requires like a lot of like analytical skills, right? Where you're trying to like break down this plot.
It's like, what is Nolan doing right now?
Yeah, like figuring out like why these characters are doing that, right?
Yeah.
You're really happy right then, right?
Yeah.
That's your element.
Yeah.
Right. So for those people like you're talking about, school is probably their element.
Yeah.
They
it's
love school more so than any of us can even imagine. And that's why they're always happy, because they're constantly like learning new things, and they're just like, holy shit, this is so amazing.
Yeah.
That's why if you find them out of their element, you know, if they're just, you know, I don't know, if you make them do exercise and they don't want to exercise, they're going to be like, oh, I'm in such a shitty mood. Whereas if you pluck one of us away, you know, like, I would say that none of us are like super ecstatic to be in school. Like, sure, there's aspects of it that we like.
That's interesting.
But then,
It's not our favorite thing in the world.
yeah, if you get us in like what we enjoy doing, like if you find me like, I don't know, like mountain biking, if you see, you know, like you, Jacob, watching movies, or Gabe like working on computers or something like that.
I talk so much about that. It's fucking crazy. But I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I know, exactly. So you very rarely have those bad days when you're doing that sort of activity where you really enjoy it.
Yeah. No, I get that. And I just feel like I just want to see those people out of their element.
See,
I've seen them like, you know, like outside school, like at a bar or something, and they're still like always happy. I'm like, what makes you tick, man? Like, what pisses you off? What makes you sad? Like, I've never seen you not in a good mood.
I don't see why you have to know that.
Yeah.
It just freaks me out a little bit because I don't know. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, you just saying that kind of made me realize that, like, so, like, for you guys who don't know, I don't know if I mentioned or not, but I work at a computer repair place. Basically, I just fix computers part-time while I go to school. And, like, I'm never really, like, upset when I go there. Like, there's some days where I'm like, this is fucking bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I go in and, like, I don't hate going into work. And I feel like I'm generally in a pretty good mood most of the time. Because, like, the satisfaction of, like, figuring something out that's, like, it's, like, you know, troubleshooting it, like, figuring out what's wrong, like, that's so satisfying to me to, like, find that answer.
Yeah.
And I definitely, like, I'm in a way better mood than normal. Just realize that, I guess.
And yeah, I totally agree with Dayton, like, the whole challenging part. Because you have to be... Your mind has to be challenged or else you're going to get stagnant. I mean, I remember back in, like, middle school, right? You had nothing to do in the summer. Fucking
out.
nothing.
Okay, maybe you guys.
Oh yeah, you were working on the farm.
Okay, so for reference, my family owns a blueberry farm in Lower Michigan, and I've never had a summer vacation in my life.
I can't believe that took 3 episodes for that.
Yeah, so, like, growing up, I was always either there or, like, somehow involved with it. And then, like, obviously once I was old enough to work, maybe not legally old enough to work, but, like, old enough to shred papers, you know, I was there, you know, shredding papers, washing buckets, just doing odd jobs like that.
If you can walk, you can work.
And, like, so my family's always been invested in that. So yeah, no, I never had a summer vacation. So no, I've never had that
Well,
boredom.
what I was trying to lead to is, like, it's like you get to the point where you're just, like, playing video games all day, every day, and you're like, this is awesome. And then, like, a week later, you're like,
this fucking sucks.
like, because even though you love video games, you know, you're just like, I'm just sick of this. Like, I just can't do this anymore. It's something I love to do, but I've had too much of it, you know?
The first week I get out of class, I fucking play video games for, like, a whole week, and then after that, like, there's nothing to do.
But then it's funny because then you get mad when you have shit to do, right?
Yeah.
You get, like, homework, you study for exams, you have projects, you're like, oh, I don't want to do this, I want to play video games. But it's like you're talking about being at work and being on Reddit all day.
Yeah.
It's like you think that's what you want to do, but it's really not.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, I think I've told you guys this before, but sometimes, like, over the summer, I didn't really feel the need to play video games or, like, want even. I just kind of felt bored. But once, like, school and stress started getting added in my life, I'm like, okay, video games.
I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about the difference between something that makes you happy and a distraction from maybe your bad feelings. I'm not talking about, like, depression necessarily, but I'm saying, like...
negative emotions like anger.
And you're just like, I just need to get away and just distract myself.
Video games definitely, like, calm me down.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys think distractions are healthy? Maybe sometimes, not all the time?
I mean, obviously within, like, limits.
Yeah.
Like, you can definitely play video games to the point where you don't do your homework.
Yeah.
But it's nice to, like, have something that's mentally engaging but not, like, stressful. You know what I mean? Like, you can sit real back and relax. Like, even if that's, like, TV or, like, having a beer with you guys or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I think a lot of people can use, like, music especially to kind of distract themselves if they're just having, like, a shitty day, which is, like I said, it's fine in moderation. I guess an example where I thought I was probably doing it too much was earlier, it was, like, end of the summer, like, earlier this semester, I was feeling kind of lonely. So I started watching a bunch of, like, rom-coms. Like, rom-com movies.
That is not.
You're one of those
That's not a
people.
healthy coping mechanism.
You're one of those people that's, like, sad and you have a sad playlist on Spotify. Just like, I want to feel like shit.
Just drive the nail in your heart. Make me feel like shit.
One of my friends broke up with his girlfriend, and he listened to John Mayer on loop for
Oh,
like a week. And we're like, dude, that's not healthy.
Well, yeah, like, I started watching all these movies, and of course, you know, they're all the same fucking plot, you know? Guy meets girl, things are going good, there's a crisis, and then they get it together at the end, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, you always finish the movies, you're like, wow, I feel good. They worked out. But I watched enough of them where I finished one, and I was like, that's, like, not real. You know?
I'm glad that you finally.
Well, I mean, like,
It took 20 movies.
I mean, obviously, like, I know in the back of my mind it's all made up. But at the same time, it's like you have to realize, like, life isn't that easy. Like, shit doesn't just happen always, you know?
No.
Kooky
Like, you gotta-
events happening all over.
Have a nice meet cute. Yeah, so it's like, I just had to, like, snap out of it a little bit. Like, okay, like,
Yeah.
my life isn't going to be as easy as a rom-com, you know, where I just, like, meet this person and it's just, like, a fucking storybook, right? Even though you might think it, because I was, like, kind of in that mindset a little bit, just watching, like, all that media saying the same exact thing kind of pounds into your brain.
Right.
But yeah, I finally kind of realized I got to snap out of it.
So, second part of the question was success, and none
Yeah.
of us have talked about that yet.
Well,
Yeah.
hang on a second.
Oh,
I
sorry.
have another thing about I forget the word.
Distractions?
Yeah, distractions.
Yeah.
I hate distractions. I despise them. That's why I just like got rid of Reddit on my phone. I don't really go on Reddit anymore. I haven't really been playing video games that often, except for Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
That's like
Gotta catch
that's
those moms.
You gotta do it.
That's
I mean,
video game crack cocaine.
Gen 4 just came out. Let's go.
Anyway,
That is the point.
But a while ago, I read this. I think it was like a monk's mantra or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something along the lines of, in order to like get over like a negative emotion, you have to like truly feel it.
You have to feel your
100%.
feelings, yeah.
So for me, I don't like having those distractions. I would much rather, like, if I'm feeling angry, I just need to like find some good like outlet to, feel that emotion.
Is that why you beat the shit out of me last night?
I was wondering with the black eye.
And the night before that one.
It's just like 1 a.m. and I roll over.
I'm actually really glad you brought that up, Dayton, because that's something I wanted to talk about too. Is so I deal with some like anxiety issues, some social anxiety. I'm seeing a counselor now, and we were doing an exercise where I was kind of imagining myself in an anxious situation, and I remember thinking, I almost tried to like leave the situation in my mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I just don't want to be here. I
You
just
gotta force yourself to
you
stay.
yeah. She was like, no, you said to stay there and go through your feelings and just sit there and feel them and get through it. And yeah, it passes. I mean, it sucks for a bit, and then you kind of just push through it and you move on to a different emotion. And it was really interesting because it's very easy to just want to escape, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
to
especially, I mean, for anybody can, let's say you have like a public speaking thing and you get really nervous about it. You're just like, I just want to like fucking leave and just not do it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, it's fight or flight essentially, right?
Yeah.
I'm a fleer. I don't know about you if you guys are. I feel like Dayton's a fighter.
Well, I don't know.
But I'm definitely a fleer, and I would try to run from my problems if I get in a really bad situation. But you're right. You do have to just sit there and kind of feel your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like especially with, with sadness too, like, if I like am feeling really shitty, I'm just like, I need to figure out what's making me feel so shitty, and if I need to cry, so be it. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
It's 2018.
Why you cry?
Hashtag men who cry.
Dude, everyone cried.
Do you wear pink too?
Do I wear? I don't know.
I wear
Real men wear pink.
Dane's a girl. He can't cry. Yeah.
What do you guys? So I got to quote BoJack Horseman, which is my favorite show. If you guys don't know, BoJack Horseman is a show about a depressed horse that's trying to get better, be a better person. But he's very self-destructive, and he keeps kind of fucking up and making his life worse. Sounds very depressing, but it's a dark comedy, and I actually really enjoy dark comedies as a genre because I think they explore that side that's not so happy, right? I mean, like I was talking about the guy who's like always happy all the time. Mm-hmm. That'd be analogous to like Friends or a sitcom. That's like everything is resolved in 30 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's just kind of popcorn, right? Easy to consume, digest.
Yeah.
Whereas a dark comedy, I feel like really challenges you to explore your own emotions and be like, no, yeah, shit doesn't always end like good.
Yeah.
Like shit, like.
There's definitely stuff in like season 2 that like still fucks with them. What are we on now? 5?
Yeah.
That's still like
there's the
constant for
consequences,
5.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, it's all over.
But
Like,
one of the characters in the show is kind of an optimist. He's always an optimist, and one of
Mr. Peanut Butter.
Mr. Peanut Butter, yeah. And one of his lines is, "There's no such thing as being happy. You just distract yourself with stupid bullshit, and then you die." And it's like, fuck, that's really depressing if you think about it. It's like, that's what it is you're running from your true feelings.
That.
I think it's like season 2 or season 1.
Oh.
But yeah, you're running from your really feelings. Like, oh, like, well, if I just watch the show, then I don't have to think about myself. Or if I just go do this thing.
Happiness.
That's fake happiness.
That's not
exactly.
true happiness.
Yeah.
True happiness is a lot harder to come by, and you have to work for it.
Yeah. And it's not always easy, but that's where working for it gets to the success portion of the topic. Ooh. Joseph, I'm going to you again. Joey, you off guard.
What a transition.
I have not put a lot of thought into what I deem myself as successful, like what my goal is.
Let's start with just like your career. Like right now, what would you think? What like point would be like I made it?
That's so hard for me.
To a point where I can I hate to make this full circle, but like be happy and like
Yeah.
to a point where I can comfortably do the things that I love. Like if I get to a point where it's like, okay, I can take some days off of work or whatever. It's like, okay, I want to do something fun. I haven't, gone camping in this place yet or at all or in a while or whatever. I want to be able to be like, okay, yep, that's what I'm doing, and not have to worry about like
saving money.
saving up or like saving up money or like my time to do that. I want to be like, I need to go camping right now. I need to get away, and I can just do that and not have too much that I need to like plan ahead. Like obviously, I won't be able to just be like, hey, I'll be gone for a week. See you later, work.
Yeah.
That's not clearly not like a tangible goal
thing.
So, taking that within reality, but to me, that's what because I'm very, I don't know, memory oriented, I guess, with my happiness. Where like, I'm
like nostalgic.
Yeah, like I want to. Again, I really love snowboarding, so like that's honestly when I'm at my peak. Like,
that's your element.
Pun intended. I'm in my peak. I'm at my peak there.
Come on.
On a mountain.
It's too easy.
Another dad joke.
So
now I got a follow-up question with that. So, in order for you to be quote unquote successful, do you feel like you need to enjoy your job?
I would say so. Yeah.
To like what degree? Do you need to like love it, or like is it just like enough money to do the things you want to do?
I would say I have to enjoy it enough to where I don't want to wake up in the morning and regret wherever I'm going. Yeah. Like if it's something like it doesn't even have to be like get up. Oh boy, I get to go to work now.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting that.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to drag my feet out and be like I have to go to this garbage job and do this bullshit work. Mm-hmm. That I know is useless or not helpful or not challenge, just
like the internships.
Yeah, like I want it to be at least slightly above that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but like how were you feeling emotionally this summer with your internship where you weren't doing a whole lot?
I was dragging my feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so boring. It was cuz there was no
just ditto.
The best part was every second Friday I got a paycheck, and it's like like that was that was about it. Like I enjoyed the people I worked with. Like they were really cool and really they were fun. And it's like a couple times we'd hang out, like go to a brewery and whatever. Yeah. But like I didn't know the area, so I didn't do anything outside of that. And then so I was bored at work and I was bored outside of work. Yeah. And so the whole summer was rough, but the job was just not.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally feel that, actually. That's pretty much my same experience. Where, I didn't do anything that, I did, one or two things that was meaningful, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of it, I just didn't accomplish or do anything. Mm-hmm. I just felt stuck. I remember, it being June and being like, fuck. It is not August. Yep. Just hitting that wall.
What's success for you, Gabe?
I don't know. Back to if we're looking monetarily, I feel like a part of me is make as much fucking money as you can. Just hoard it. Take as much money as you can.
And then one day I'll die.
Yeah, and then I'll die. Right? But I don't know. I feel like the more rational part of my mind is I'm gonna have loans and that's gonna suck. But it's eventually it'll go away. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But I don't know, back to the hobbies thing, I want to be able to do what I want, and that's where the money comes in, I guess. Yeah. Is if I can go on a trip and it doesn't hurt me in any way, or it doesn't affect something that's worth it for that would be really successful for me, I guess. Yeah. But also if we're looking more at I feel because I'm in IT. I feel it's not as rewarding as most jobs.
I feel people take it for granted. They're just hey, fix my computer, and then when you fix it, they're just bye. Why didn't you get this done yesterday?
Yeah, it's really it's not rewarding in that regard because you're helping people, but they just expect it to be done. I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It just that part kind of bothers me about my field is I enjoy it, but I don't love it. It's not like I feel like I've never had something that's like this is exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like I just kind of fell into some like I enjoy like doing this.
Yeah.
From time to time.
I mean, thankfully, like you were talking about earlier, you get the problem solving.
Yeah, that part is
part of
what's
it.
super like rewarding for me is solving those problems.
Yeah.
More than like helping people, as bad as that sounds. Like it just, I don't know. They don't even notice that it's being fixed, and if shit breaks, they just complain. You know, I don't know, but I don't know. That part I guess bothers me, but the money, and I think a really big thing is like the people. I get along with a couple of my coworkers really well at my job, and that's what makes it extra enjoyable for me. Like, I get that problem solving element, but I get excited when people come in for their shifts so I can talk to them.
Yeah.
Like they're, you know, that part I feel is really underrated. Being able to like go in and enjoy the people you work with, which honestly is such a fucking crapshoot.
Well,
you
I
have
know
no idea who
that's
you're
the
gonna
thing
meet.
I'm about the most because like people really make or break everything.
Yeah,
You know,
for
like
sure.
thankfully this summer I was able to make a few good friends at work that made like the not as cool people less shitty because you can just go avoid them and complain about them to other people.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean you're right. It's kind of a crapshoot, man. Like you might show up someplace and like maybe the person who interviewed you was cool, but then like your boss
Everyone
is like
sucks.
a dick, or you have to work in
Yeah.
this group of people who like are incompetent. You know, it's like really frustrating.
I know. I guess like to conclude my answer for successfulness, have money to do the things I love. So like go snowboarding out west mostly. That's the dream of mine. That is 100% gonna happen before I die. Make sure that I work with like decent people, I guess.
Yeah.
And like find some way to find it like a rewarding thing. I guess it's more of a personal reward, I guess, than like a for the good of everybody reward.
Yeah, but that keeps you going and able to kind of be good at your job. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're like you're just saying, like you're going walking every day dragging your feet, you're not going to do a good job.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I said, I don't love IT. Like there's a lot of people in my major who they go to class and then their hobby is doing that stuff outside of school. And don't get me wrong, I have a few projects, like, you know, I did the webcam thing for my guinea pig so I can check on them. Like, that type of stuff is really fun for me, but it's not, like, my main hobby.
Yeah.
Like, as long as I don't hate it and I get to do some stuff and be able to do the stuff I like outside of school.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or I guess it'd be work at that point. That's my long answer.
Dayton, what does a successful career look like for you?
I would say that. Well, first of all, let me preface this by saying that
We gotta get you back to the science of this.
I think if you said back.
I don't think I can break down the science on this. But I'm thinking that Gabe just exploded a beer all over the place.
Holy shit. Sorry.
Alright, so I wanted to preface this by saying that I want to retire as early as possible.
Yeah.
Not because I have a feeling I won't enjoy my work, but because in my eyes, time is the only thing that matters.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, money is required to live. You need money in order to do the things that like you want to be able to do. Except if you don't have any time to do that, then your money is literally worthless. It's like, here's a nice Lamborghini. You don't have any time to drive it.
You're too busy working.
Yeah. So
it's like we heard somebody say recently. It's like you either have a lot of money or a lot of time, but you never have both.
Yeah. So I actively work towards the side of having more time than money.
Mm-hmm.
And early in my career, I'm looking at doing, because this ties into the whole success thing. Because if I'll be like successful in my eyes if I can graduate or not graduate. If I can retire before like 50. If I can retire before 50, that means that I'm like successful in my eyes. I'm just gonna be like, hell yeah! Like I spent a lot of time doing the things that I love, and I was able to live frugally enough to put all this money into like savings and like 401ks and whatnot, so then I can spend even more time spending that money that I had just saved.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, that's interesting for me because in my eyes, like the things, like the outside hobbies that I have, which like are basically snowboarding, mountain biking at this point, those are the big two. I worry that like by the time I retire, I won't be able to do them. So like an idea that I've had in my head for a while is to like go out west and just get a job and like again kind of enjoy it and just snowboard out there as much as I fucking can before my body hits like 30 so I can handle it. Like for me that I don't know why like that's just an idea in my like the retirement's gonna happen. But like if I can use my body when it's like in decent
in the
shape,
prime, baby.
In my prime. If this is my prime, it's depressing. But you know what I mean? Like, so I can use it and like, you know what I'm saying?
Depending on how you take care of yourself, though. Like, my dad he's older than 60 now. And
Dirt!
He basically dirt. He rode a dinosaur to school.
Uphill both ways.
5 miles.
But, like, he goes to, out west he makes at least 3 trips a year, and they're about a week long, and like he's skiing almost every day that he's out there. Like if you take care of yourself and you stay healthy, it's not like you're gonna break down at 45.
Yeah.
So Gabe, that means that you need to stop eating chicken patties.
Dude, I haven't bought those since you gave me so much fucking shit.
Well, I'm glad.
We gave you shit for it last year. You still did it anyway.
I'm on pot stickers.
Oh God.
So those are
these
way
pot
better.
stickers are better than chicken patties.
Yeah, there's totally not a lot of
Dayton, I have
sodium.
two questions for you. One is, are you worried about getting bored in retirement? And 2, would you be willing to take on a job you don't love as much in order to make the money faster so you retire earlier?
So I would be okay with taking a job that, one, I know for a fact that I'll be good at, even if it means that I won't enjoy it as much, because I feel like that's ultimately what like the employer wants, right? They want somebody who's going to be good at your job. Yeah.
Are you saying performance matters?
Yeah, of course. I know you're being sarcastic about that.
Size matters too.
But what I'm getting to is that if you're a shitty employee and like you make it known that you hate your work, you're gonna get canned.
You're out of there.
Fast.
If you're incredibly good in your field and you're just kind of like, it's all right.
But you're just smart shit.
Then you'll probably be fine in your career.
That's how I felt this summer. Actually, sorry to interrupt you, but this summer, I was doing process engineering and I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. Every day I was like, I'm neutral, but I was really good at it. So I was like, this is fine,
Yeah, exactly. So in that case, I would be okay with taking a job as long as it's not super stressful, because it's been shown that like your stress levels will shorten your lifespan so early.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So that's a big factor too in terms of like my success, is that if I can like lead a very low stress life, then that would be freaking amazing. So I would be okay with taking a low stress job, or at least like a job that isn't stressful to me, right? Because stress is it's pretty personal, right? Like a low stress job that like pays okay, that I don't really care about. Yeah.
Would you be willing to work like a bunch of overtime?
No.
Yeah, because you value your time so much, right?
That's a hard no.
I think everybody does though.
I don't know, dude. Some people really value money, and I'd be interested to hear some comments from our listeners, from the people that have different opinions than me, because I know that there are people out there that will gladly work overtime because they value
the money.
They value the money, and they value their personal belongings a lot more than I do.
I know,
which is a topic for another podcast, because I don't have very many things, and I don't like having very many things, so I value the small things that I have.
Yeah. I know there's a few people who like work and then they'll like go on Craigslist and find jobs on the weekend so they can get more money on the weekends.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people like that where it's just like that's what matters.
Well, because
which is fine.
Going off of that, like if you know Logic, his new album just came out recently, and there's a song on it about a father who spends all of his time working and making money so that his kids can have a good life, right? But then
he didn't get
of course, he doesn't spend time with his kids, and his kids don't really know who he is, and he thinks he's doing something noble, right? Because
he's sacrificing.
He's sacrificing so much. And he's doing it for his kids. Like everything's for his kids, but in the end, he's like hurting them almost. Because they're gonna have a quote unquote good life, but are they gonna be happy? So it's that kind of trade off. But back into you, Dayton. So let's say you retire at 48, and you're like, all right, I got a long time to live. Mm-hmm. You get a lot. What are you gonna do? I mean, are you gonna get bored at some point? I know some people who go back to work.
You're totally gonna get bored.
Are you kidding me? Do you know how many fucking hobbies I have, Dave?
That is true. If you can support your hobbies, like, you'll be fine.
I could probably list off things that I enjoy doing for 10 minutes.
Do it.
We don't have time for that.
We're at 35. We can make it.
This is gonna be a long topic, so we're
No,
yeah.
I think that provided that I can find, whether it's a significant other or just like friends, that share like the same hobbies that I do, I won't have any trouble staying preoccupied.
Yeah.
One, because
I know you hate sitting around.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of time to fill up with things to do.
It is a lot of time.
Honestly, I could totally see you do like your woodworking thing on a side job thing, like just for fun.
Yeah, and
do
just
that
or
and
even
sell it
just
or
like making things for like other people. Like,
Yeah.
that could be pretty fun.
Dude, you're gonna be that grandpa.
Probably. That's
Maybe
that's
this-
a long ways off though, and
maybe
that implies that. Does it? Yeah, that would imply that I would have children.
Does that matter to you? Okay, that's a totally.
No, I was gonna
another
get to
topic.
that actually.
But I would like to talk about that.
Well, we'll get there in a second. But I mean, you've also talked about doing like a financial advising or a bunch of other
Yeah, that's true.
kind of
Yeah.
random stuff.
Yeah, I can see myself doing that.
Yeah.
That's because I don't really view that as work.
Yeah.
Advise me.
Gladly.
You need advice. Josh, if you're listening, give Dayton a call. So success for me is really weird. I've been thinking about it recently because I knew we were gonna probably get to this topic at some point. But I always thought, like in high school, right? I'm going to high school. I'm going to college so I can get an education so that I can get a job that I love to do, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've slowly realized this year that I mean, there's a good chance I'm not gonna find a job that I'm in love with, right? It's probably a job that I'm like, okay with, like I said, for the summer, like I'm neutral about it. But I mean, I don't know. It's hard to find a job that you like head over heels for.
Yeah.
So if I can find a job that I can tolerate, but it allows me to do the things I like to do, then I'm okay with that, right? If it allows me to kind of do my hobbies, which is playing video games, watching shows, traveling, stuff like that, then I'm okay with that. And yeah, I'd be willing, quote unquote, sacrifice. It's not a huge sacrifice. You're just doing a job that you don't necessarily like love, but as long as it allows me to do those things, and also a goal in my life is to have enough money where I can be very charitable, because I mean I listen to a lot of podcasts and I often hear ads from people like, hey, I have a GoFundMe because my dog just died and I need this money, or this person's really sick, or this organization needs money.
Yes.
I would love people to be like, oh yeah, here's $50.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Like I just getting to that financial status where I can be extremely charitable and not worry about it would make me very happy, because that way I feel like I'm actually like helping people.
Yep.
And it's not on a large scale, but it's helping like maybe one person or
Yeah.
a family, and not have to worry about, oh, am I gonna pay rent or whatever. I just really would like to get to that point in my life.
It's pretty interesting that more or less your answer and Joseph's and mine is like pretty much the same. Like as far as hobbies versus
Copiers.
yeah.
It's like, say I threw that out there first, but also at the same
We haven't
time,
been thinking about it. We just
like-
copied you.
Exactly. Like with picking a job, I've gotten to the point where it's like I know wherever I work right out of college, I'm not gonna last there for more than
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
Like 5 years. I've done 4 years of high school. I'm going on 4 years of college. Like
It's a long time.
like I know I can push through that
yeah.
time frame. So if I figure out I don't enjoy it, I can look for a new job. And so like to me, like I'm not at all worried about that.
Yeah.
Just because it's like we'll also have a pretty good backup plan with the farm. But like
I mean,
worst case.
To be fair, you said like, hey, I'd be okay going back there.
Yeah, like oh yeah. I wouldn't love it, but I could do it. Like
Yeah.
I've done it for 3 years. I could keep doing it for another couple and then move on, or whatever I end up doing. Like I'm not afraid, because I know wherever I work, I'm not going to work the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like obviously whatever job I pick when I graduate, I'm not going to die doing that. Well, hopefully I don't die doing it. But, I'm not going to retire.
Yes.
Most likely
Yeah.
not going to retire doing that. So like I'm totally fine jumping around and
Well, that's the thing,
trying,
right? Like, it's
figuring it
we
out.
talked about a few weeks ago. It's a very old-fashioned
Yeah.
way of thinking to get a job out of college and stay there for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of people did that. Like back in the day, they would stay at the same company for 50 years, which is insane. Now people who are just graduating are like, oh, I'll be here for 5 years, and then that'll give me the experience to get like a better job, and then a better job, and you kind of like one thing I learned at my internship was we had these like career discussions with the kind of the higher ups at the company, and they've already had like 5 jobs or whatever. Every move they made was to increase their career. Like,
increase their salary or like position.
No, like
Ladder.
position. Yeah, it was all about the career ladder, and it's a lot more tactical and almost aggressive than I kind of had imagined. Like these people are making moves specifically so they can get higher later.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting.
That's why they make it up to the top.
Yeah.
It's because they are actively trying to get up.
But it's like I don't even know if I want to be at the top. You know, like my mentor was he's been an engineer there for a while now, and he's like, I could be a manager, but I don't want to be. Like I've asked them not to promote me because I don't like managing people.
I've seen a lot of that. There's so like the company I worked for was super old fashioned, like I've said before. So there's like the CEO at that place is like literally I remember him telling something along the lines of the story like he graduated college, started like that next Monday, and he's been there ever since. There's a ton of people who are like that far up who just stay there for 30, 40 years. It's just like what they do. But it's just like that to me is just too much of a not like I guess it is too much of a commitment.
Yeah.
Like that's just like scary to be stuck in one place.
Yeah.
For that long.
So like
if I wanted to leave and like try something new, I feel like I should be able to have that choice.
Yeah.
And that that goes with the money. But yeah. Going back to what you said though, there was a lot of like times where these like VPs or like execs made moves where like they make the same amount of money in a completely different field, but it helped them get to where they were.
Because they have more well-rounded experience that lets them.
But they were also like a lot older.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't one young exec.
I mean, it takes time to build that experience.
You just got to get there.
All right, so to switch gears a little bit. So we talked about professional success, but I want to talk about personal success. So I'll go to you, Dayton, first, because you and I already talked about it a little bit about you want to have a good group of friends around you.
Yep.
And maybe a spouse. So like, are you interested in getting married, having kids? Like, what's like, 20 to 50 years from now, what does like your family or home life look like?
I would say that I definitely see myself settling down at some point. Not anytime soon.
Right out of college. Proposing.
Who can I marry? Where are
at
you?
the ceremony.
That gets a big ol' hell no from me. I don't know. I can see myself, I don't know, having like maybe like 1 or 2 kids. I think that'd be nice because I've heard that like the feeling that you get from like raising kids is pretty good.
Well, that may be a whole nother topic, but I'm very interested about talking about the idea of having kids.
Yeah.
Like why would you want to have kids? Do you think is it just because it's the thing to do, or because you think you find happiness in it, or?
Well, I've got a joke answer or not like an actual answer. My joke answer is then. I don't have to do chores anymore.
So my parents told me for 18 years.
But my real answer is that no, I don't think it's because of like social reasons. I think that it's just because it'll be stressful. But just from what I've heard, like people are like, this is one of the most satisfying things
and like
that
rewarding
I've ever
things.
done.
Yeah,
and it's like I like to think that I'd like another little date and running around at some point. I think he'd cause a lot of chaos.
Jumping on the fucking garage roof.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny to watch. Like, especially if he's kind of like me, he or she doesn't really matter.
He wants a boy.
No, dude, if they're a monkey like me, then either way.
Gender doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, even watching my nephew grow up, like he just turned 2. I mean, just turned 2, but turned 2 in like June, and. Like he looks almost identical to me, which is like really cool to watch him grow up. Like even like comparing pictures, like he still looks identical to me, and like I'm not like directly raising him, like it's just my nephew and I'm at school, but like when I am around him and watching him, like even just that little bit, like watching him grow up and everything. It's been rewarding for me. Like, he's not my kid.
Are you sure? If he looks just like you, Joseph, like...
that's not a funny joke.
Hi, Joseph sisters. That was a little incest joke for you. Let's move on.
But, like, I don't know, it's been fun for me to watch. And my other sister just had twins. I just had twins a year ago. And like even watching them grow up has been fantastic. And like definitely before that, I was always like, no kids. Like that's no. But like watching them more, it's like obviously I'm getting the uncle treatment.
Yeah.
So like, they're crying. Breast. Here you go. Yeah. Take them from me.
They shit their pants. There you go.
I did that. Literally, the last time I was home, I was like holding my nephew, and I was like, "Hey, he's shitting. Here you go." And just hand him off to my sister, and like, "Hey, this is not my problem."
So now you envision yourself.
I see myself at some point having kids. I definitely, would like to live. So I have my general idea, like goal would be like get married, not necessarily early, but like within a couple years of graduating, like 5 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Like your 30s. Like
yeah.
Early 30s, late 20s.
Yeah. And like getting married then, and then just living as a married couple for a couple years before having kids, and not like having like a shotgun wedding or kids right out of the gate.
You also have like a financial problem too. Like, I mean, I feel like you have to. I mean, you don't really have college debt.
Yeah, but that's something.
But, like,
that's something to.
I'm sure like a lot of young people have that problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. For like me, as far as kids go, I'm like, I haven't decided. I mean, I'm 21, so that doesn't really matter. I guess I don't know. It just like, and I go back and forth on it.
Yeah.
So, as far as like the marriage part goes, I'm extra hesitant because my parents got married at like 17 and 18, and they got divorced when I was like 5, and like to me that's just like, oh shit. And I've always been like told like they just didn't know who they were until then, because once you graduate, college or whatever, like your priorities change. They can go from like career focused to like starting a family focused. Like they just change. You become different people.
Yeah.
So that part makes me hesitant, but also like kids are a lot of responsibility. So like, I don't know. I have pigs, and that's a lot of responsibility for me.
Guinea pigs.
Guinea pigs.
Clear.
Not pot bellies.
Yeah.
We don't have pigs running around.
I mean, those are like 5 minutes a night, and like that's.
And you're like, wish I wasn't doing this right now.
Yeah, damn things. But like if another human that shits their pants, like motherfucker, I had to deal with this.
Just toss them in the shower and turn it on.
But like I'm sure. Obviously you wouldn't have kids if it wasn't rewarding in some regard,
I mean,
or if you want free labor,
tax benefits,
and tax benefits.
Maybe your parents are pressuring you. There's a lot of reasons.
I'm not thinking that though. Yeah. Like I'm thinking personally, like would it be rewarding enough for me to do that? And like, am I a good enough person to be a father? I feel like a lot of people are just like, boom, baby, and they're like 16, and they're like, this is gonna be the best kid ever, and they're just like pieces of shit because they like know nothing else besides working at McDonald's.
Yeah, there's an Aziz Ansari bit where he's like, yeah, all my friends are having kids now, and some people it's like, why are you having kids? Like, my one friend sells a chain wallet. He's like, dude, if you have a chain wallet, if your wallet's be chained to your person, you should not be allowed to have kids.
Yeah, like that. It's also like a social responsibility thing for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I don't want to raise a prick.
Yeah.
I'm
not saying I'm a shitty person.
I mean,
I'm just saying I want to be at a good mental state and a good financial state to make the kid.
I mean, parenting's a whole other topic.
That's way more thought than a lot of people give, I think.
Oh yeah,
and even if you're already like thinking about it, you're probably above most people who have kids.
But I feel like you should think about it.
No, you should. You definitely
you
should.
I'm just be able to pop out a kid and just like, oh, I can't pay rent, but here's some French fries from McDonald's. Like, I don't know. I feel like you need to think about it.
Yeah, no, you definitely
as
should.
a societal is that a word?
I don't know the right word. No.
As a responsibility to society.
Yeah, you got to think about it.
Yeah, I'll go quick on mine, but
I
have some specific plans and some unspecific plans.
How does that work?
So my specific plans are I want to get a house. So I really want to settle down. I'm really excited about settling down as being in one place so I can just get all my shit set up. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want a nice home theater for like watching TV, movies, and play video games. Like I want to get those surround sound speakers.
You want a man cave.
The nice chairs. Like
you want a man cave.
It's gonna be tight. All right.
In the basement.
So definitely want that. I definitely want to get married. Like it's one of my like huge like life goals is having like a partner. That's also your best friend and somebody you can confide in. Yada sappy stuff. But the whole kids thing is very interesting for me because my entire life I've always thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna have kids. Like I definitely want to have kids. But the past couple of years I've been a little bit hesitant on it. It's like, well, do I want to have kids? Because my thing is the money situation. Is that kids cost a lot of money.
That's, yeah.
You know? And I'm not saying that, like, it's not worth it. I'm just saying, you know,
really
that's something you gotta think about. And if I want to get to the point where I can be charitable and indulge in all my hobbies being selfish, you know, it's like, can I do both? And which one's more important to me? And because I'm sure that having kids would be rewarding, and I don't discount that at all. It's just...
You also have to think about the time, too.
It's a lot of time. And I don't know. I just, like... Obviously, a lot of people have kids for the wrong reasons, and I, like you were saying, I want to think about it. And it's like, do I actually want this? You know, and does my partner want it, and all this sort of stuff? Like, because what's more important, you know, for me is like, is it having kids and growing that, or is it like giving a ton of money to charity? You know, so it depends on how much money you're making, also, but it's just a lot of things to consider.
Like, what do you want it for the kid and whatnot? So
yeah. All right. Well. We're getting to the end, rounding out the end of the show. We'll lighten things up at the end here, getting out of this deep stuff. We're gonna play a little game called $1 Million But. This is a card game made by Rooster Teeth. It's very similar to Cards Against Humanity or Apples to Apples. Basically, how it's normally played is you have a black card, you know, as you guys would know for Cards Against Humanity, that gives a prompt, and then everyone else plays a yellow card, which is kind of a modifier. But in this case, we're just gonna read one and just discuss it. So. The general gist is I'm going to offer a deal to everyone, right? And it all involves getting $1 million. But there's a condition that makes it, maybe I don't want to take this money. Mm-hmm. So basically I'm going to give a condition and we'll talk about would you take the money or not. So I pulled out some random stuff here. I'm just going to briefly read it over to make sure it's actually like funny because I don't want to do some lame stuff here.
You're like talking about
none of that lame shit.
This is a good one. All right, everyone. You get $1 million. Dayton, that's a lot of money. That's
It's not.
That's some retire early money. Is what
it's not. No, it's not.
I'll give you $1 million, but whenever you enter a building you've never been in before, the Nazis burn down your house.
So does that mean every time you enter your new house, it gets burned?
Yeah. No. It's like the first time you enter a new building.
Yeah, but you buy a new house. They're gonna burn it down.
You literally can only live in one house your entire life.
No, I am not taking that.
You have to live in this house for the rest of your life.
Wait, hang on a second. There's an obvious loophole here. This says house.
Apartment.
What if I live in an apartment, or what if I live in a trailer,
or like a tent?
Or a tent, yeah.
You are a minimalist.
Yeah, so.
But like the question is, can you avoid entering new buildings?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I don't need to avoid that if I don't have a house.
No. I'm just saying
That's
the other end of the loophole is like, can you get to a point in your life where you never have to go into a new place? Like
I would hate that.
That would suck.
Are you kidding me? I want to go to new places.
What if there's a new restaurant? Like, and then you come back and your house is fucking gone.
No, you just tell your wife to go get takeout.
Unless you've already been there.
Yeah, but if you camp the whole time.
Yeah, but like.
You can't try out new restaurants. You can't try out new.
It's not worth $1 million.
Not worth $1 million?
No.
Yeah,
I say no deal.
No deal for Gub. All right. Next one. $1 million. But every time you send an email, you get wrongfully blamed for the next bad things that happens near you.
Oh, I can take that.
I mean, how many bad things happen near you? That's the real question.
Seeing how I'm usually the cause, like,
same thing.
The cause of all bad things.
Wait a second. So if you're actually the cause and it says wrongfully,
yeah,
does that mean that it absolves your crime?
This is all gonna be a loophole. This whole game.
I mean, that's what it's about, right?
So overthinking.
So I get blamed either way. Okay, yeah, no, I'll take that.
But like, what's like the worst thing that you could be blamed for, right?
I mean, like you're farting or something.
Because like,
I already fart a lot.
Car accident.
Who gets murdered near you? You know what I'm saying?
No, it could happen. If I live in a big city, you never know.
That would be the
what's
shitty
near?
part.
Like earshot, like 10 feet.
It just says near. I think within like your line of sight and ears.
Yeah.
You have to be able to sense this thing happening. If you can't perceive it, you can't be blamed for it.
So like if someone was getting
That's
shot,
not true.
if someone was getting shot, you could just close your eyes and cover your ears and you're good. Is that what you're telling me?
But then, but why would you cover your eyes and your ears if you didn't know that was gonna happen?
You just said you could perceive it.
Well,
I'm just
you can't.
bullshitting.
Whatever.
But all I'm saying is, I have caused things to happen that I've not been in the room for when it like happens.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I guess it would work too. Like, let's say you send an email, then you go to go to an exam, and somebody in the room cheats, and you may not know about it, but then you get blamed for it.
Dude, just don't send emails.
Yeah. At college, are you fucking kidding me? You have to
I've
send a
never
million
sent a
emails a
single
day.
email in my life.
At work, dude, yeah, at work, just the emails.
Wait, is it when you
all day.
send or when you receive?
It says every time you send an email.
Oh, I thought it was receive.
No.
That would be.
Oh
Denise.
yes, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So our academic advisor sends us emails.
For like stuff that isn't even. So me and Joseph are in the technology school, so we have the same advisor. But she'll send us emails for like stuff that isn't related to our major, and we probably get around 5 to 10 emails a day from her.
At least.
And they're like not useful to us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's like graduate program or
Yeah.
So like we get like graduate emails. We get first year or emails regarding to first years.
Gosh.
I get emails regarding to his department. It's like I don't need to see this. It's
Yeah.
not that hard to put a filter on, like on her end.
It
to,
is
like,
for her, man.
to like to put it in groups.
Create email lists.
Yeah, like it's not that difficult. She's just lazy.
Okay, I'm trying to find a good one for the. Oh, this is a good one. All right, last one for the night. $1 million, Joseph.
Okay.
That's a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
You're who did Deal or No Deal? Totally.
Howie
Mandel.
You're being Howie Mandel right now.
$1 million, but every time. Wait, so did we say we're taking the money in the last one?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
we're
did,
taking
yes.
the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, this one, $1 million, but every time you sit on the toilet, all right,
Okay.
a cat grooms all of your orifices.
All right, I would just
Is it
hover
declawed or not?
shit.
I mean, grooming is just licking, right?
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
hover
is it?
shit.
Yeah.
Wait,
just
I don't know.
hover.
That means that I don't gotta buy a bidet. So
Just hover.
But like,
shit,
it's when
dude.
you sit down, not after you shit.
But your orifices include like your mouth, your nose,
Your
your
ears.
ears.
Every open.
I think your
port
eyes.
is your
nah,
body.
Nah, $1 million is not that much money.
Dude, I'm telling you, hover shit. Okay.
Yeah, just squat.
Just squat.
Well, here's what you could do though: you hover shit, and then you sit down after, and then it cleans your ass for you.
And your mouth.
And your
after
eyes.
Your eyes.
Well, I mean, hopefully you can.
Have you
pick
ever
the
been
order.
licked by a cat? It's like sandpaper.
It is, dude. They got little like jagged things running like.
Yeah, little
Backward.
hooks pointing back.
Yeah,
so that when they
that's for
lick.
tearing the meat off.
Yeah.
Like actually, like with lions, they like have that so they can tear the meat off.
Yeah,
the
they can
bones
strip
better.
the flesh off your bones by licking you.
I don't know. I feel like I would take it because I mean that's a lot of money. You could just whatever. You could just hover shit every time if you don't want it to happen. But then sometimes you're like, fuck it. You know what? I need a little grooming. And then you just
No.
sit down.
Let's
and
get
you're
my
good to go.
asshole torn to shit.
I would just I would take it and just hover.
Yeah,
and then,
I would take
and
it
then you
and
get
hover.
sick ass quads
Oh,
from
do
hovering.
you get a squatty potty?
No, because you're still sitting on those.
Yeah, but you could
No,
like
you're not.
raise it up and then you could get all
Are
situated
you?
in
I
there.
think you're still sitting. Your feet are just higher.
Oh well, I mean, you could.
But yeah,
just
you
make
just
it
squat. You get some arm bars or like supports, and you just squat.
All I'm
That's all you
saying
gotta
is,
The old people bars.
Yeah.
I'm happy we're not girls because girls have to sit when they pee also.
That's
yeah.
true.
So that
We're at-
once a day I have to squat.
Yeah.
For 15 minutes, easy.
I train
And, like-
myself to shit once a month.
You could just use the handicap bathrooms that have the bars and just use that to prop yourself up.
Yeah.
Oh, that was an idea.
You just get one installed in your house. I mean, there's ways to
Okay.
get around this.
Better idea. Install bars.
Or
that
just
you
shit
sit
the-
your cheeks on. It's technically not a seat.
Yes.
Just
But-
shit like a bathtub.
At that point, could you just get rid of the toilets in your house and replace them with holes? Just like go straight to like the sewage system.
Can't be a toilet seat if there's no toilet.
yeah, except that's when you get the sewer gases, I think.
Well, I'm just saying you could like engineer some sort of solution that
Yeah.
wasn't a toilet specifically. Because it just says sit on a toilet. What if it's not a toilet?
So do our outhouses like?
Well,
Just use
okay.
an outhouse. Problem solved.
Yeah, but I guess what defines a toilet? Is it just something you shit in?
I think a toilet's got to flush.
I feel like that should be a whole topic for our next episode.
That's
what
is-
defines a
I-
toilet?
I feel like a toilet has to flush because it's not an
It's not a hole in the ground.
it's an outhouse is a specific thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not a toilet. It's an outhouse.
There has to be indoor.
There's no
plumbing.
like outhouse toilet. Like,
Yeah.
they're very defined two separate things.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the plumbing has to be involved. So there are ways to get around this.
That's true.
So you take the money. Mm-hmm. All right, well, that's a good place to end it. We did $3 million butts. We had a nice, long, deep topic about happiness,
About our
success.
feelies.
And then a couple shitty ones.
Ba-doom.
Wow.
See, that was a pun.
Follow him at
terrible
Dad
one,
Joke Joseph.
Thanks again for listening, guys. Appreciate it. Don't forget to share with your friends.
Yep.
We'll see you Mondays, 9 a.m. Follow us on socials. And yeah, thanks.
And maybe we'll see you on Spotify or iTunes.
Soon.
That
I'll let
is
you
the
know.
goal.
Follow the Instagram to find out.
Yeah.
All right, bye,
All
guys.
right, see you guys.